Hi, this is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, and I'm here with another Friday Reads. I am still in the midst of the Big Book Summer Challenge, as I will be all summer long. This is the annual challenge that I run, and this year is the 10th anniversary, so it's a big deal, which is why I've made up some fun products and other things. The idea is simply to read a big book or two or three or however many you want that you may have been putting off because of the size. So a big book is just any book, any genre, any type with 400 or more pages. So everything counts, and you set your own goals. So it's a lot of fun. And I'll tell you what big books I've been reading. So I have just finished The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas, which was my choice. I like to have one big book classic each summer, and this was the one this summer. I had heard great things about it. I've already talked about it for 2 Fridays running, so I won't say much more, except that I very much enjoyed it. I didn't know this going in, but it is a revenge story, pretty much the revenge story to end all revenge stories. And I have to admit, when I realized that, I wasn't thrilled. I'm not really all that into revenge. But it turned out to be a really good story, well written, very engrossing, lots of plot twists. So I really enjoyed it, as so many people had told me before. So my next big book selection this summer is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Another book I've been hearing great things about. I actually gave this to my husband either for his birthday in October or for Christmas, and he loved it. So Andy Weir is the author of The Martian, most famously. That's how most people know him. My husband and I both loved that book, and I also gave copies of it to my father and my stepfather for Father's Day that year, the year that The Martian came out. They loved it too. And of course, the movie was great with Matt Damon. But I don't know why, but it seems like his second book didn't get much attention. And that was called Artemis. It was about a colony on the moon. I reviewed it for Shelf Awareness, so my husband and I both read it. We both enjoyed it very much. But I have heard that this one is just another huge success like The Martian. So I have really, literally just started it. So all I know about it is pretty much what the blurb says. So I'll fill you in. Having trouble holding on to it. It is a big book. So from what I can tell, like The Martian, this is basically a book with one character. His name is Ryland. He is also an astronaut, and he is the sole survivor of a mission to save humanity. So the stakes are very high in this book. The thing is, he's the sole survivor because everyone on his crew has been killed. And when Ryland first wakes up and sees all the dead bodies around him, sees that he's out in the middle of space somewhere, he has amnesia. So he doesn't even remember his name, let alone what this mission is or what he's doing in this ship. So apparently his memory will gradually come back, but as it does, he realizes that this mission he's on is pretty much impossible. And I really don't know much more about it yet, but the clock is ticking. It's up to him to save all of humanity. So it sounds like a very fast-paced, high-stakes novel. Maybe even higher stakes than The Martian. And I can't wait to get further into it and find out what's going to happen. So that's Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. People have been recommending this to me for months, so I'm very happy to finally be reading it. And The Count of Monte Cristo is a pretty big book. It's 500 and some pages. So it did take me, I don't know, a little over 2 weeks, I guess. So I am looking forward to reading this. It's just over 400 pages, I think, about 450. But I know from experience with Andy Weir that it's going to be very fast-paced, gripping, and probably a quick read. I am also listening to a big book on audio. Yes, audiobooks count, ebooks count, graphic novels count, anything as long as its print version has 400 or more pages. So my current big book audio is Gone by Michael Grant. So this is a YA science fiction novel. Stephen King, the king himself, said that it had a driving, torrential narrative. So that's high praise from him. It is very suspenseful and fast-paced so far. The premise is that a bunch of ninth graders are sitting in their classrooms at school when all of a sudden all of their teachers disappear. And they soon find out that everyone over the age of 15 in their entire town has just poof disappeared. In fact, one of the kids calls it the poof. They don't know what's going on. So there's only kids left in town, with the oldest being 14. So those first couple of days, no one knows what to do. They're just kind of wandering around, trying to figure out what happened. Everybody wants their parents. But of course, there are some power-hungry kids who begin to take advantage of it. I don't know, these post-apocalyptic type stories always seem to show the worst of humanity, right? Don't know that I really love that aspect, but this has been called Lord of the Flies for the 21st century. And there are definitely some, that is definitely an apt comparison so far. So the main characters that this story focuses on are some good kids. And Sam is the main one, and a girl named Astrid, who is considered like the smartest kid in school. She's even in ninth grade already taking some AP classes and some college classes. So Astrid's really smart. Sam considers himself just kind of a normal kid. He thinks that he doesn't really fit into any of the cliques. And in fact, he has one best friend at school, one friend only. His name is Quinn. The two of them love surfing together. This takes place in a coastal town in California. So Quinn is another main character, and he's more your classic surfer dude. And then there's a new kid in school that kind of bands together with these three, named Adelio. He's a recent transfer. They don't know him very well, but he also seems like a good kid. And with that group, Astrid has a young brother, I think he's about 4 years old, with severe autism. He's mostly non-communicative, although Astrid can sometimes get through to him. So this is an odd group, and they're trying to band together to find out what happened, to get out of this situation somehow. And the story goes around to other kids and other groups of kids. There's a group of private school kids who kind of come down into the town and take over from the townies, as they call the public school kids. There are, of course, some horrible bullies that take a violent approach to things. So all of this is happening while the kids are trying to figure out, what was this crazy thing that happened? How do they make it stop? So it's science fiction. It's also action and adventure, lots of suspense. So far, it's a very gripping story. I think I'm about halfway now. I did learn that this is book one of a long series, so I don't typically read long series. So we'll see, how much I enjoy this and whether I want to continue it. But so far, I am very much enjoying Gone by Michael Grant. And that's what I'm reading this week, what I'm starting on this weekend. I would love to hear what you're reading this weekend. What are your plans? Are you involved with the Big Book Summer Challenge? If you'd like to join, it's very simple. There's a video down below, as well as a blog post, which is really kind of the central place for the challenge and where you sign up. You don't have to have a YouTube channel or a blog to sign up. We've got lots of just regular readers. We've got a Goodreads group with some wonderful discussions going on. So you can sign up if you're interested, set your own goals, and join the Big Book Summer Fun. And otherwise, I hope you enjoy your reading this weekend.